Can I see your ID? Come on, I'm 37. I'm old enough to drink. Oh, I can clearly see that. I just like to memorize addresses. No one's home right now, are they? Oh, where's your manager? He's the one laughing next to you. What can I get you? Drunk barbarians! Welcome to episode 59 of the Signal Award-winning podcast, Behind Bars, Cocktails and Wasted Nights. I'm your host, Greg. I've been working as a bartender for over 20 years, and over those years, I've seen a lot. My goal here is to share some of those high and low lights with you. Quick warning, this podcast contains sex, drugs, and some language that isn't suitable for anyone under 21 years of age, so you gotta have some ID. For this one, I interviewed comic Alan Bromwell. Alan is a true comedian. He's brilliant, observant, and has a healthy touch of madness, which I love. Very dark sometimes. He was actually banned from my bar over a COVID mask argument, but after a couple management turnovers, I invited him back to do my show under the radar. He's got some strong opinions and will gladly die on a lot of hills to make a point, and every time we have a conversation, I come away richer for the experience. So it's a no-brainer to share his brain with you, fellow barbarians. Okay, before we get started, you'll need a drink. Alan typically drinks reposado on the rocks, so in the spirit of tequila, let's do a cocktail with the spirit of tequila. It's called the El Diablo. And the El Diablo cocktail is a highball drink made with tequila, creme de cassis, finally another cocktail you can use besides the Cure Royale, lime juice, and ginger beer. The drink was invented by Trader Vic in the 1940s, a restaurant owner considered to be the grandfather of tiki drinks. Anyway, the first reference to the El Diablo is in his 1946 book called Trader Vic's Book of Food and Drink, where he claims it as his original recipe. And here is that recipe. Into a cocktail shaker, pour 1.5 ounces of reposado. Don Julio is great. Do 1/2 ounce of creme de cassis, 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. Shake and dirty dump into a Collins glass, top with ginger beer, garnish with a lime wedge, and enjoy. And, as per usual, if you don't have any of that shit lying around, pour, crush, and line up a nose beer and chug that sucker into your sniffer. Perfect. You must be this high to ride this ride. Ladies and gentlemen, I am thrilled to welcome you inside Alan Bromwell's brain. Buckle up. Tonight we have a doozy, a humdinger. I am being joined by Denver comedian Alan Bromwell. We've been trying to get this thing going for a while. Our schedules never lined up, but now the stars have aligned. Alan's back from tour, and he's now in the closet studio. Alan, welcome to the show. How are you, buddy?
I don't like that you said he's now in the closet.
In the closet studio.
In the closet studio.
Yeah. No.
Alan is now in the closet. Welcome to the show.
After the show, he'll be coming out of the closet. He's so deep in the closet, he's finding Christmas presents, folks.
I don't like it in here.
No, it's very bizarre and uncomfortable.
Welcome to the closet.
Yeah. It's actually well, yeah, it's a closet. I can't even dress it up.
Let me introduce my first guest. He's entering into the closet.
We're going to do some homosexual revisionist behavioral.
Okay, what does that mean? We're going to revise.
We're going to do that therapy, that reversal therapy, so you're not in the closet anymore.
That can I say that was what Tim Leary first did in the Harvard acid shit. Yeah, they were converting homosexuals back to, they were like, don't you want a woman? Don't you want a family?
I love homosexuals because it's always the best looking guys who are in great shape, and it's less competition for us. It takes them right out of the pool. I love it. Yeah. I'm in full support of the whole LBGT.
Yeah, that's why transgender, fucking snip it up. I don't care.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. Whatever makes it easier for me to eat. You know what I mean? Give me a seat at the table.
Thin the pool.
Yeah, thin the herd. So anyway, you were good opening. Oh, you should have heard our pre-interview. That was hilarious.
Yeah, we had to edit that.
Oh God, we were talking about aliens and cultures and.
Well, do you want to for a second?
Because let's go ahead.
You're the only person I've ever talked to who acknowledges that the races come from different aliens.
I believe that. I believe different alien beings created different races on the planet.
I believe that too.
All right.
We're too different. When you look at dog breeds or whatever, we are when you look at the races, we say, I know we're all Homo sapiens and we're the same species, and that's a beautiful thing, but we're wildly different.
Absolutely.
Like in a way that if you look at types of birds or whatever, like we are so diverse.
A hawk and a finch are not like,
Yeah, they're still birds. Like when you talk about two different human beings.
Yeah, absolutely. There's differences, and I hate when everyone's like, "We're all the same." We just all you're doing is stripping people of their cultural identity, and you're making it more racist by smoothing it over. It's like, let's celebrate and recognize our differences. That's what I like to say.
It's a really cool thing that we're doing here. We're a bunch of alien races interbreeding and fucking partying together. It's good.
Yeah, it's
a good story.
Yeah,
it's a good story that way, and it explains because the races is hard to explain. When you see how different people are from different places, it's hard to explain to a child. What would you tell a child?
Yeah.
Well, they were what?
Yeah. We weren't designed to be good at basketball. Why? Well, we're better at coaching.
We're better at legal disputes and money matters.
Oh my god! I was gonna go into that real quick. Just put that in there.
Edit that out, please. Can we edit out any references to the Jews?
Oh, vey.
The rest of this.
This is good. I'm schwitzing in here. It's so hot. Anyway, Alan, so you were on tour, right?
I was just on tour. I got back. I went to jail. And now I'm here.
Okay, shit. Well, that's quite the itinerary. Let's go with... jail is very enticing, but let's go with the tour. How did the tour go?
The tour was fantastic.
Where'd you play?
We did 3 Nebraska, some Goofy Town, Lincoln, and then we went back Wyoming, and then we came back and did Denver suburbs show for the last one. And then they wanted to set off fireworks at the end of the show that we got in Wyoming, and it was a real fun. It was genuinely very fun. And then the several noise complaints and cops showed up, and I fucking took the hit on that one. I took one for the team.
Everybody else just ran, and you were the guy holding the bag.
I'll tell you the truth, man. Next time I won't get my car because they split. And their car was faster, so I got pulled over, and I drove all of a block.
Oh no!
To the stop sign.
Oh no!
And they were like, "Do you have fireworks?" I was like, "Nah." It was my buddy, and they go, "Can you call him?" And I called some other number on my phone, and then they're interrogating me about whatever, and then they wait for a very long time. They call another sheriff, and now he's coming to the thing, and it's flashlight. We're gonna do a sobriety and field sobriety test or whatever, and I gotta tell you, man, I nailed this shit.
You nailed it.
I'm like a savant. Like I'm a autistic savant for pretending not to be drunk.
Okay.
Because if you challenge me to do that, I will do it. And I was masterful. This dude did that blue light in the eye for way too long.
Are you like, I manually dilated my own pupils? I thought about it.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it didn't respond. It didn't respond. So
they go from left to right and up down to try to make you fall over.
Yeah,
because if they make you fall over, then they go, now we're doing a breathalyzer.
Right.
That's how they do it.
Okay.
So he does that for way too long. 10 minutes.
He's like, this guy's not going down.
Yeah. No, and he's like, you got to follow it. I'm following it. I'm not following it.
Yeah.
And then he's doing the raise your leg for 40 seconds while I fucking count. And then the walk a line. And I did it all perfectly. And so in my head, I'm going, okay, so now it's time to put our egos aside and let me go home. And he goes, now do you want to do a breathalyzer? And I go, why? And he goes, well, I go, why do you have any suspicion that I would be? He goes, well, you reacted slowly to my questions.
What?
And I'm just going, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
There's 2 sheriffs, dude. There's 2 sheriffs. And there were multiple calls for the noise complaint because we were stupid and we kept going from
in the same place.
Yeah. That's where we fucked up.
Yeah,
we had great Roman candles, the best Roman candles I've ever bought.
Well, it was worth it,
It was. Well, I would say it was not worth it, but they would.
Yeah, because they got away.
They went home. But yeah, man. Then he goes, we got to do a breathalyzer. I go, I'm not doing that horse shit because I've been drinking for a long time.
Yeah.
So, and then the cuffs, and then you go downtown.
So you couldn't beat science. They got you on the breathalyzer. What'd you blow?
I blew a .075, which I will tell you, I was doing a lot of breathing yoga, pranayama, right beforehand, and the chick was she didn't like what I was doing. But I believe I could purify my bloodstream with my breath, and I was in that trance before I did it. And this was a real fucking hermaphrodite that gave me the test, man. She was a centaur. She was I don't know what she was.
She graduated from a phys ed to police officer.
Dude, she was like, and I was very delicate with her. I understood why he was doing that as a profession in that moment, because he just an unpleasant person.
Surprise attack technique.
She enjoyed being the person that ruined people's lives. Like I was anyway. I was very friendly. I was very friendly, but I'm
psycho life kind of thing, and then now she gets to give it back.
Yes,
yeah,
yes. Exactly. And I'm psychoanalyzing everybody, but I'm being very loving because I'm like, if I'm not getting out of this unless I'm nice to everybody.
Right.
And she didn't like the way I blew into the thing, even though I anyway, so they were filling out that form.
Were you trying to blow into it wrong kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Like, goddamn right I was. I'm trying to fill my fucking cheeks with room air.
With room air, yeah.
And then I'm trying to just do cheek air and the thing. I was a trombone player in fucking college. You learn how to circular breathe. Yeah. That's how you pass a DUI fucking shit. You just do you circular breathe. Yeah. And then you're not blowing lung air. I'm blowing cheek air.
Oh my
cheek
God,
air can't be that. Well, I tried. I'll tell you the truth, man. Next time, if for anybody listening, when you go downtown, if you get under 0.05, they will let you go. And I was trying to ask them, I said, what's the number? Just tell me the number. Will you let me go and say, I'm sorry, we took you downtown? It's 0.05 in Colorado.
Okay. And you just need like some time, like an hour or two.
Some time and some intensity of consciousness. It's all, you can manipulate any number with consciousness, I believe.
And I haven't been able to do that with the lottery. I've been trying.
You got to believe more.
I will.
You got to believe more. But anyway, and now I'm in jail, and
how many hours were you in there?
I don't know. It was from midnight to 5 a.m.
Oh God, awake the whole time. You got weirdos around you. They took all your shit.
That is the degrading part, where you got to wear their goofy orange Crocs that don't fit you, and the pants that they tried so hard to give me shit that didn't fit. Like, I watched the process of it. I was like, hey, these don't fit. Hey, I'm a size 11, and he intentionally gave me. Like, they enjoy that. There's a weird sadism to the whole process. They enjoy making it unpleasant for you. But I was nice to them, and actually some people were very nice to me. Like, I managed to.
But during the project runway portion of the evening, one person took a lot of delight in fucking up your whole style.
I think, why would you want to work at a jail? Can you be honest with yourself for a second?
I always think about this. Why would you work at a jail 8 hours a day? You're in jail 8 hours a day. Like, that's your life. You're in prison.
You work at jail.
Yeah.
I mean, it must feel good when you pull out of the parking lot.
Yeah, but you got to go back to fucking jail.
You got to go to jail.
You literally work at jail. Your job is jail.
I can't imagine. So I felt empathy, honestly. I mean, I was off a successful tour. I felt sorry for most of them, and I felt love for them, and I'm thankful for any of that, because I felt that if there was a seed of resentment that could have made me go, fuck this dude, why does he do this to people, and then I turn, it would have been a whole different experience.
World of shit. You'd still be in there.
I probably would.
Yeah, you got to just go, okay, yeah, you just take it. Yeah,
just understand that they're people, and they don't really, they don't want to hurt. I don't think in their heart they want to hurt anybody, but I think when you take a job like that, you do enjoy
dominance, control.
Dominance and control. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's
sadomasochistic.
It is.
The whole thing is, like, having been in a BDSM relationship, you understand what's going on, and I just go, listen, I get it. I get it that life's been rough for you, and now you want to, like, you've been dominated, now you want to dominate. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. That's fine.
You've been in a BDSM relationship?
Well, I've been with a chick where we did that shit primarily.
Okay. Nice.
So, and I think that really helped me in prison. In jail.
Your BDSM. I'm in the closet after prison, after my BDSM relationship helped me get through prison.
I understand it, because it's like when I was in high school, I thought that I started to get I started to fantasize about that shit, because the hot chicks wouldn't even look at you.
Right.
So then you get in a place psychologically where I want to interact with these women, but they don't even look at me. So the only option is I'm controlling them.
Right.
Which, so that formed my sexuality at a young age, and then I was like when I looked at hot chicks, I was like, I want to be dominant over her, because otherwise she would never even look at me.
Right.
So I got to be her master.
I totally buy into that stuff, man. Like, I'm always trying to reclaim that early, like, the pubescent sexuality forming moments. Like, for me, it was like that show Unhappily Ever After with Nikki Cox. She had this micro mini. It was like a low rent, down market, Married with Children. Okay. And basically, Nikki Cox, Bobcat Goldthwait's wife, like the hot redhead, she wore these like tiny little skirts with like these thigh high stockings, and like these.
Bobcat was the husband?
Was her husband in real life? Like, he had this babe. Okay. Yeah. And like the family, like the guy was divorced. Like the Al Bundy of the family was divorced, and he had to live in this like shitty apartment or the basement of something like that. And he had this rabbit that was one of his kids' toys that started talking to him because he was going crazy through the divorce. And then the kids would like have turns, like having custody at the home or with the dad in his basement. Unhappily Ever After. So in
his basement.
Yeah. So he would talk to the rabbit, the stuffed animal, which was Bobcat Goldthwait. It was crazy. Yeah, but anyway, the chick was so hot, I used to be able to wax the dolphin and rub one out to her. And so now I have this thing.
This is a recurring Hollywood formula, because now Modern Family, they got Al Bundy with a way too hot.
Oh, yeah. Sofia Vergara, hottest chick, ugliest voice.
Yeah, on television.
Oh, God.
Since Desperate Housewives.
Such a
whatever the Latin chick on that one.
Oh, I'm a Rosario Dawson guy, too. I love her. She's amazing. But yeah, Sofia Vergara, if she didn't talk or she had a better voice.
If she didn't talk, that's how you feel. That's how you feel
she's
that
like,
hot chick.
Her voice is like really weird.
Even if it's not deep. Even if it's not deep. No, my main feeling on hot chicks is if you would just refrain from speaking.
Well, because everybody's like, oh, it's really interesting.
And that's why she likes the guy who would challenge what she says, because she knows in her head that she's being fluffed.
Right. And she wants to be domed.
Perhaps that's why some of these hot chicks want to be submissive.
Well, that's why I always try to get these chicks to give me fashion shows, because I always like the Nikki Cox thing. I'm like, put on a little mini skirt with some thigh high stockings. I want to see a little space of skin between the hemline and the lace of the stockings. I need to see that. That's because I have to go back to that place. You have to choke a bitch out. It's just the same thing. It's similar.
I'll tell you, man, the story of you meeting Stormy was fascinating to me. But that was a very, like, you were exactly what we're talking about, which was you were shooting the shit truly to a woman who's getting fluffed.
Right, all the time. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're that real thing, you challenge her, and you challenge the intellect.
Just be real.
She's like, I always get by on my looks, but now someone's challenging me on another level, and I like that.
Yes.
So, all right, listeners, there's your secret. We just let the cat out of the bag. That's how you get some.
This unintentionally turned into a game podcast.
Okay, so circling back to the cops like ruining your lives. Like, I know a lot of nurses, and
they all. So the idea of it is that
I want to help people.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah,
and that's also the social ego of it. But the truth of the matter is, some of them, I would say maybe 10% of them are that way. Just like comedians. Like, how many comedians are authentic in what they're doing? And how many of them just want love from an audience that they didn't get from their family? Like, that's the same dynamic in any profession where you talk about, like, a police officer. How often is it that you run into a police officer who wants to actually protect humanity?
Well, that'll come down to us, because like we're usually the ones in trouble doing something wrong. But if we were wronged, I think the cops are there. They would definitely help us. I know some great cops. Like, I know some awesome cops.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, Officer Winter. We got Dak.
I would never call the cops.
DPD.
I'll tell you, man, I'm very skeptical. I would never call the cops. If I got a dispute at home, if I got something, I guess I would. I'll tell you where I would call the cops is if they got more artillery than me. That's the only time I would ever call the cops.
You're like, I'm gonna need some backup. I'm trying to make a citizen's arrest right now.
Yeah,
I got like one bullet left.
Can I get some backup?
There's like two guys got one bullet.
And what I think is an ideal humanity is we would have services that benefit us. We should like the DMV, man. We shouldn't all talk about the DMV disparagingly. If we're going to do this, if we're going to pay tax, money, whatever, to have these services, they should be things that we like.
You know who figured it out? Arizona.
Did they?
Yeah, like I check IDs, I bartend, you know what I mean? Arizona, your license like lasts for like 30 years. Like, no kidding. Like 2 decades at least. Like, your picture is not going to look like you when you get pulled over
like
anymore.
You're a Supreme Court judge.
Like, you don't have to go...
Lifetime.
Like, you don't have to go to the DMV ever. You get your license. I will see you in 20 years when you have to renew this. That's Arizona. Expires in 2058. I'm like, wow.
Maybe I need to move, but...
They figured it out, man. Yeah, the DMV is brutal. And then you get there, and you don't have the right... Do you have your birth certificate? What?
Birth certificate.
What more evidence do you need that I'm alive?
I'm
standing here before you.
It's such a goofy thing. You go, oh, so what certification do I need for existing?
Yeah, I'm alive.
Don't you see me?
I'm standing here before you.
No, but were you born?
Yeah.
Were you though? Can you prove that you were born?
Do you have that piece of paper?
Well, I'm a human being that's talking to you. Is that not a certificate of birth?
I'm a beta unit. Real Allen's he's the last starfighter. He's really good at the video game. The aliens came and got him. They replaced him with this robot. That's me, and he's out fighting a war, saving.
It is birth and death certificates is such a goofy thing, man. Like a death certificate, you're like, well, I haven't heard from him in a while, but do you have a certificate?
Yeah. Well, you need it when you want to get the insurance claim after you've killed your spouse.
I think what it is, and this I may go into conspiracy territory here,
okay,
but if you look at birth and death certificates, they do have the same fucking numbers on them as dollar bills, and I think your life to the government is a financial instrument. And
your Social Security number, yeah.
Social Security number, it's the same shit. You look at a dollar bill, you look at a birth certificate, you look at a death certificate, it has this... I think that's maybe what the economy is based on, is the people.
Yeah, we're like batteries in the Matrix.
Yes.
Some make money, some take money.
Some make, some take.
I want to get on that taking side. I'm, just kind of like...
But I don't know, in the Matrix, were any of them taking? You had to get out of it.
That's true, yeah.
To do anything meaningful.
Otherwise, you were just a battery. But, back to the cops. I got to tell you, the cops helped me tremendously.
I want to hear how the cops helped.
So you know about my house guest, right? Did I tell you about my house guest?
Louis Beck?
No, a different one. I had there was this person I was helping out from LA and letting her stay in my apartment for 3 months until she got back on her feet, got her a job out here in Denver.
Okay.
Well, it turns out she was a little more she's beyond my help. I'll just put it that way. Because doctors had put a chip in her brain, and everyone was ISIS.
Is that real, or she was schizo? Or?
In her mind, yeah. So I'm like, oh, this person's not capable of making a resume. I can't refer to anywhere, And would do this yoga pose on the ottoman for like an hour in the sunbeam with the vibrator in her ear, and make these noises while having an eargasm, massaging the chip in her ear. Wow. Looking like a pig on a spit with an apple in her mouth because she had TMJ.
And that's somehow Piggy from Lord of the Flies.
So she would...
you gotta stop dating.
She would smoke on the balcony. I'm like, there's no smoking in the building. And then finally, one day, I took the cigarette out of her mouth and flicked it off the balcony. She goes, I'm calling the cops. I'm like, please do. So she did.
Because you took her cigarette?
Because I took her cigarette, and it had been building. It's been 3 months, and just been no movement, just craziness going on.
This is why the cops exist.
And it was great.
Disputes of this nature, which are fundamentally spurious.
And you have a girl calling the cops on a guy, and she claimed that I tried to throw her off the balcony. So first thing I do is I hide all the shit. The cops knock on the door 5 minutes later. I open up. Come on in, officers. I invite them in. My buddy Matt's here, my writing partner.
What did you do with your cocaine booth?
I hid everything.
You hid everything?
I hid everything, yeah. So, I have my hiding spots. So I invite them in, and then...
By the way, when I got the DUI thing, they go to the console first. Don't put your drugs in the console.
Oh, no, never. This brings me to another story. That movie that I made, The Boys and Girls Guide to Getting Down, I met the director and the writer and co-wrote with him because he had a game show that he was trying to start called Rehab, which was about drug culture, and the winner got to go to rehab. So you'd like answer all these questions about drugs and stuff, and there were physical challenges. And
Hell of a game show.
And one of the challenges was...
Hell of a game show. A bunch of addicts competing to go to rehab.
Yeah, it was amazing. I thought it was hilarious. So he was like, all right, now we're going to play Hide the Cocaine. I have a retired police officer here, and I'm going to give Greg this
time for another round to hide the cocaine.
Yeah, he's in his car. He's just been pulled over. He has 30 seconds to hide the cocaine, and the officer has 30 seconds to find it.
This is why you need an enlarged urethra. That's where the true artists hide their...
If you could put it in there, oh my God. I can't even watch sounding videos, though, so I'm not a candidate for that.
Sounding, yeah. Ugh. Dilate that. No, but this is... I don't know if that's... I mean, that may be the thing that you get in prison with it. Probably. Because they're not going to search your urethra, probably.
No, your butt, they definitely search.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. What about... But if you have it in your... That's why... And I'm not expert on this, but if you have it in your digestion... Like, you could just got to time that right.
Yeah, you have the balloon going, a little Maria full of grace kind of thing.
I wondered about it because I have false teeth, and when they took me into jail, they took them away, which is the most dehumanizing, emasculating thing they have.
Oh my God!
Like, they took my teeth away, and I was like, dude, I gotta fucking eat. I didn't know you were gonna arrest me and bring drugs into your fucking...
Yeah.
But that is an interesting thing. Like,
why would they bring your teeth? Oh, to inside. You could put stuff inside. Okay.
Yeah, you could put shit in your mouth.
Oh, shit. All right. It's good to know now. Next time we're hanging out. Now I know
who's grabbing. No, I could hide. No, because I got a fucking... my front teeth are fake with a plastic thing where I could put a gram or two of some shit.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm not planning...
You want to fly to Mexico with
me? Let's go to prison. I'm not doing that, buddy.
Oh my God! So
I don't want to do that. But
no, you don't.
It was interesting the way that they treat a human being, because I'm like, hey man, I wasn't even that drunk, and now you're taking away everything that it's just so.
It does seem the response doesn't match the crime.
But I think I must have, in a way, because I'm not irresponsible. Like, I created that event in my life, and I will tell you, it did educate me. Like, to be in this situation where things are taken away from you, it does activate something in you. To be, I could say dehumanized, but I was still a human being.
But to be docile.
To be like, what if we took away everything you own and everything on your person? Now who are you?
Right.
And it's an interesting experiment.
It's very Fight Clubby, actually. Yeah.
Yes, and it was like, okay, I think I would be fine in that environment. I didn't want to stay there, but it is a test of authenticity. Like, it's somebody who's reliant on their possessions, somebody who's reliant on the things on their person. You can't continue being that ego in that environment. That's why we collectively created this space. This is a space where we're going to dehumanize you. We're going to take away the things that you possess, and now who are you?
Right. Yeah, because you can't make mortgage payments in jail. You lose everything.
But it's just me and some psychotic fucking French dude watching Dr. Phil and with a lot of concrete surrounding us.
Scottish dude, wasn't he? Or
he was Scottish. I don't know.
What was he saying to you?
Well, he told me his whole story, and they kept breathalyzing him, and he was 0.24 the first time. Whoa. Which was, you shouldn't be alive or some shit. But this dude was telling me how he went to his stepdaughter's house to steal the dogs that he rightfully owns and whatever. And it was truly a character. Like, he could have been on Modern Family. Like, this dude was very funny if you viewed him that way, because he was so unaware of what was going on around him. He was like, yeah, man, they arrested me for breaking and entering, but, I bought the house, so how can I break and enter in my own?
Yeah, he's trying to do his own legal work.
But then I'm going and doing breathalyzer thing at the counter. It's, by the way, jail is like a DMV, which is just a little more drab. But it's just, there's like there's like booths that you walk up and
you go up to the window.
Yeah, you go up to the window with papers or not, but it's a DMV. And this dude, I would go up there and I would be chugging water off the water fountain. And I go up there, I go, can you breathalyze me again so I can go home? And he would follow right behind me. He goes, can you breathalyze me too? And I'm thinking, Wait, I thought you got in trouble for stealing dogs or something.
Yeah, he's following your lead. He's like, this guy's onto something. He's probably gonna get out of here.
He felt that.
Yeah,
he felt that. It's like, and I had camaraderie with this dude. Like, nobody wants to be there. Not like we said before. Not even the
workers.
Employees.
Yeah, no,
they don't want to be there. God knows they don't want to be there.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Why would
all for fireworks?
The only reason I think a woman would work there is to try to find some ruffian who she can try to convert.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Change a guy.
Yeah. I could fix you.
Yeah.
I could fix you. I see your abs. I see your pecs. I could convert you. I could civilize you. It's trying to tame some fucking prisoners to be my husband. I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's a lot of women working the fucking.
Yeah, that's what happened in that story. What's the name of the place in New York, upstate New York? They made a movie with it. It was Benicio del Toro.
Okay.
Oh, I'll think of it like way too late. But yeah, like this woman and this husband worked at the jail, and she ended up having an affair with one of the prisoners.
Yes,
fell in love, and like
all the time,
and then like got in this whole plan of like them breaking out and running away together.
Yeah,
and it's got a really weird name.
So romantic, so romantic.
Yeah.
I met him. He was in jail, and I just saw who he really was, and
and
he fucked me really good.
Yeah,
and then we did conjugal visits, and then we decided we should start a family together. So I used my authority to abuse the.
Yeah, and he wasn't manipulating you. Don't worry about it.
That's gonna be a Netflix series. Fucking.
No, it already is. It's I can't think of the name of it. It begins with a D though. Richard Ramirez, all these serial killers, they get like fan mail and stuff. It's the weirdest thing.
See, this is the thing. So as a writer, because I'll tell you the truth, man, you are the smartest writer I've ever met in my life. You must look for these types of situations to find the new thing.
Sometimes that'll happen. Like something will happen in the news or something like that, and then I'll just like take it and blow it up or something like that. Anything can trigger it. What was the last one I think I did? Just like one time I saw a simple thing on like the Bermuda Triangle.
Uh-huh.
And everything disappears. It always swallows these things, And I was like, well, what if one day we were to spit something back out?
Yeah.
And then what if that thing happened to be like these 18th century pirates who were like trying to return to the Florida Keys to reclaim
some of these real men.
Yeah.
Some of these real men that don't exist in modern day society.
Exactly.
You bring back fucking Eric the Red now.
It was
bring back these fucking real dudes.
It was Captain Bacardi, Henri Chandon, Long John Silver.
Bacardi.
Yeah, and then they were being chased by Lord Higginbottom. They were trying to get their treasure, and they were trying to return it so everybody would just be off their backs. You know what I mean? Like, no more. We're going legit. Let's get all our treasure. Let's hand it back to the crown. Everybody's off our backs. We're not criminals. Lord Higginbottom's chasing them. There's this fucking electromagnetic storm going on in the Bermuda Triangle. They're heading right into it. Boom, they send Long John Silver ahead with the map. He rows in a dinghy. He gets through. Phew, he disappears. Then they disappear. And they wash up on the Florida Keys in the present day. And if it was any other week other than spring break, somebody might have noticed. But they're just like walking around looking for their treasure. And because Long John Silver went ahead 10 minutes, it turned out to be 20 years. And so while he's been waiting for them, he started a chain of fast food restaurants.
I was waiting for that.
And so he wouldn't lose the map. He put them on the placemats of all the people, so that's where the map is.
Dude, I think that, don't you think Mozart would be offended if he understood that the only thing we use this music for nowadays is to get homeless people not to sleep at that 7-Eleven?
Yeah, I think he'd be pissed.
What you're talking about, these fucking real men from the past are just these bastardized icons that we appropriate now. We lack masculinity in modern day to such an extent. Dude, that's why this would be a great concept. If you brought back a Viking,
oh yeah,
it would be unreal.
Yeah, and they end up staying at this hotel.
Women wouldn't know what to do.
No, they end up staying at this hotel, and they teach the kid who's running the hotel, how to be a man.
Right.
And get the girl and get rid of the bully and all that shit. So it's like Revenge of the Nerds.
Jungle to Jungle with Tim Allen.
It's what is it? It's like Pirates of the Caribbean meets Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
It's like
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great because
I call it swashbuckled and it's rated R.
My feeling is that in our search for masculinity now, if you look at what women are into, it's fucking vampires and pirates and all these mystical and serial killers, by the way.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
They're all into serial killers.
Yep.
So, because that means we're lost. That means masculinity is lost. We're talking about, I need a vampire, I need a serial killer to feel like that's a real man. What have we done as a society?
When they say chivalry is dead, you can also say, well, so is masculinity, and who killed it?
Yeah, absolutely feminism. But at the same point, men are searching for these. Men are doing surrogate activities to try to feel masculine. I'm not. I can't protect you in a fight, but I can make a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's weak. That's weak horseshit. That doesn't actually get a pussy wet most of the time. Like what? You're not really. Oh, you got. Show me your Wells Fargo account. Is that really? She's
going to make more than you anyway with her OnlyFans.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not
exactly.
that anymore.
So the money shit is goofy now. So now who's a man? Now, do we want to keep doing this thing where men provide? Because we could keep doing that. We could change it to we both provide and everything. There's no sex anymore. But if men provide, then what do we provide? What do we provide? I think, and I will tell you, we started doing a game podcast earlier. I'll tell you, I think if I were to say what men provide, it can only be a stability of mind, because I'll tell you what women that I meet seek is some sort of foundation in their thinking. They need many women, not all, many women are emotional and need some sort of foundation, like, oh, thank you for reminding me who I really am. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for...
You saying like a reference point?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we provide. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm trying to.
No, it's interesting concept.
Rebuild masculinity out of fucking shreds.
It's all happened in a couple of years. Like, it used to be like, it's unfair pay and all that stuff. Like, every girl
no one cares.
Every girl in their 20s or whatever, like they're making more money.
Yeah.
They're working remotely. I mean. They're traveling.
Even the fucking I can get us the house and the pay for the thing. That's gone.
Yeah.
So now, what is a man?
Yeah. What are the roles? We don't know.
What is a man? What is a man? And that's why it's so goofy. It's sideways right now.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. And then
no man. I ask men this all the time. No man knows what it is,
because you don't know what's okay, what's wrong anymore.
Yeah, well, and that immediately is feminine. Well, I don't want to be inappropriate. I don't want to say the wrong. That's not what everyone's looking for.
No,
you're supposed to be
like to take charge.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So we're gonna get rid of that, and then it's just gonna be all lesbian tops. Fucking, it'd be
just a lot of scissoring going on.
we have to have some definition of what, or we get rid of gender, I guess, but. As long as we got the hairy people and the less hairy people.
You know what I see that disturbs me
it's
at
like
the bar?
Dr. Seuss thing, the star-bellied. We got the hair-bellied sneeches and the no hair-bellied sneeches.
I see guys like when they're like, can I see your IDs? The guys open their wallet. They take out his ID and her ID. Like, It's like you're human trafficking somebody. It's like taken. I'm like, blink twice if you're under duress right now. He's got your passport. You can't get out of this country. Why does he have the ID? I just get really
he's wearing
sometimes.
The purse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's got the purse. He wears the purse in the family. Oh my gosh, genius. Personally, I try to not wear the pants in the relationship, if you know what I'm saying. Hey, oh. All right, sorry. I'm not going to lie, folks. We did a little break for a little mid-game. A couple of shots, some nose beers.
Mid-game?
Yeah.
Mid-game?
Yeah, exactly. We got to keep it going.
Post-game interview?
Yeah, we had more conversation about jail. Oh, man, I can't believe it. I'm glad that you were on the top of the world, though. You had a great tour, and then that happened, so it kind of brought you down to even. You know what I mean? At least you're at even. You broke even.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, because when you get too high, the universe has a way of reminding you.
I always tell this story. I once won like $500 on a scratch ticket, and then when I pulled out of the convenience store, 4 flat tires, and it cost me like just over like $500. So for 5 minutes, I was so happy. Yeah. I was like 18 or something like that. It was
no free lunch.
No,
the universe is entropy.
All right, welcome to the comedy podcast, everybody.
We're going to talk about entropy.
Cheer you all up. So you got some shows coming up around Denver, right?
Yeah, I'm doing Comedy Works Sunday, and then I got some They got a tour in a week.
You got a tour in a week? Where are you going?
I am going to Wyoming.
Okay.
2 shows, Wyoming, and then Sterling. It's really glorious stuff.
How does that stuff play in Wyoming? Do you have to switch it up from Denver to like Wyoming, or can you get away with more?
Yeah, but Wyoming is fun because it's very Hunter Thompson libertarian. Say what you want, like
say whatever you want.
It is people who just want to own their shit, and it's very people believe in freedom there.
Right, so you don't have to be woke and walk on eggshells.
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay, nice. I guess I would crush in Wyoming then.
No, you should do it.
All right, let's go.
Well, you can come.
I will after the Stormy show in New York. Ayo! That's going to be amazing.
I think New York is good too because it's such a mixture of people.
Yeah. Like LA, I would do like those jokes that like in Denver where it's like the all-white audience who get offended on behalf of groups they don't belong to. They get so mad at you.
Offended vicariously.
Yeah, I'm so mad.
On behalf of the fat people who aren't here. I'm offended on behalf of the black people I've never met.
Yeah, exactly. They get so mad. But then like when I would do these jokes in front of the Los Angeles melting pot, like they would love it. They would love it.
Yeah.
Like my closer, I used to I had a live Mexican guy as my closer. I would get my bar back, and my joke was they'd light me, and I go, all right, I don't like to get political, but before I get out of here, everyone's talking about SB 1070, stop and frisk. If you don't have your paperwork, we're going to send you back to Mexico, and that's just bullshit because everybody in Southern California, in the Southwest United States, knows that Mexican people, for the most part, generally are very hardworking, honest people. They work long days, all the days. They don't take time off. They have several jobs. They cook our food, raise our children, build our homes. They do everything, right?
Yeah.
So we don't have to work hard.
Right.
And I go, now that I think about it, me up here telling you guys these jokes, making you up, this is hard work. I shouldn't have to work this hard. I'm from here. Hold on a second. Ignacio. So I call out into the crowd. Then
you get a servant.
Then my bar back, who I had paid $150 to and bought beer all night, comes out in a poncho and a sombrero, comes up on stage. I clearly give him a $1 bill and a piece of paper, and he's like, I would have been here sooner, but I missed my exit trying to solve a license plate.
That's great. And that will be... If it were really true that these people are stealing our jobs, then they should be fulfilling all of the...
Well, what I'm saying is they're not stealing jobs. I'm saying they could do anything, including stand-up comedy. Like, I had him tell like 3 jokes for $1, and I underpaid him at the Comedy Store like on a Friday night. It was hilarious. And people would be like knee slapping and everything. Like, Asians, Mexicans, black people, white people, everybody's laughing. In Denver, if I did that, oh my God, it'd be so canceled. I wouldn't even have a bartending job anymore.
Well, Denver is an interesting mix because we don't really belong to any, like, it's all pretend. It's all what we should be. Denver doesn't have an actual identity. That's what's goofy about it. That's why I like it here, honestly, because it's all pretending that we belong to these other groups, but we don't, and it's in the middle of the country. We did eradicate some natives, but it is really just a bunch of different groups of people that came here because they liked it, and then we try to ingratiate ourselves into these other LA, New York cultures, but that's not what it really is.
It's not. It's just like a little oasis in the middle of the mountains.
Yes.
It's like an urban oasis. It's there's no competition around. That's why there's so many people wearing that Colorado logo. It's beautiful.
And it's beautiful.
It is amazing.
That's why we all live here. It's because it's beautiful and it feels good.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's just the only thing that ruins it is the people. It's like LA.
Yes.
Beautiful, but the people ruin it.
Well, yeah, California was wonderful until
everybody found out about it.
Yeah, and now you say Colorado's the new,
it's like
Austin's the new.
It's like the LA in the mountains, like in the sense that like any girl that I date, I don't have to meet her parents because she's not from here. It's great.
Yeah,
that's my favorite. All right, Alan, any final thoughts before we close this sucker out?
Well, this is a show about mishaps at bars.
Yeah, we haven't even touched on those. Thank you for bringing up the actual theme of my show that I've had for 4 years, and I forgot everything. Behind Bars, Cocktails and Wasted Nights, weird bar stories, club stories.
Okay.
Yeah, what do we got? Anything crazy in the comedy clubs? Because that's all you do, right? You don't do anything else. You're just a true comedian.
Yeah, well, I do
as far as employment goes.
But yeah, that's how I make my living. But I will tell you, in Denver, there's a couple places I can't go back from doing what I do, and it's an interesting thing that.
You mean you've been 86 from some places?
Yes, several places.
Oh no! Let's go. How did this happen?
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll tell you, there was a place that I really loved. It was called the Streets of London that I would go perform at, but what it was a former Nazi bar that was trying to rebrand as a woke spot.
So a Nazi bar.
Yeah, it was a biker Nazi bar.
Oh wow!
It was trying to rebrand as a super woke spot.
Okay, just the other end of the spectrum entirely.
Yes, but then now they have comedy, and there's that energy in the room of let's have fun, but don't say anything.
Yeah, don't make fun of anything.
Yeah.
It's comedy. Don't make fun of anything. Okay.
So I go up one night, and it was... and these are all my friends in the audience, too. And it was... I go up, and I go, hey, man, it's getting a little woke in here. It's getting a little progressive, man, because you can't even say it, like... It's not even fair anymore. You're not supposed to say this shit you used to be able to say. Like, you used to be able to... You can't even call Burger King McDonald's anymore. He's fucking pretending not to laugh in the corner. But so, that's what I said, and now I cannot go back. I can't go back there. And also, I will tell you, it was a good joke because it's just a joke.
Yeah,
like you funny. Appreciate that as a writer.
That's funny
because I clearly don't mean that.
No, of course not.
It's just being sarcastic.
It's making fun of Burger King.
But yeah, and Burger King is truly terrible.
Yeah, they deserve it.
They do. Like they pretend to be 24 hours, and you show up, and these meth heads are fucking won't even give you. Doesn't matter how much money you got, you can't get a Whopper, but. So, I don't like Burger King that much.
I'm not getting that, really.
But it's not racist. I just don't. I think you should step it up. And then, so, I keep performing at this place, and then a few weeks later, I get in trouble, and I'm talking to this guy backstage, and we're arguing about all the stuff that's happening in the news, and this is probably 4 or 5 years ago, where everything was about how violent white people are, and white people are just killing the school shooters and mass shooters and all this stuff. And I said to this guy, I said, man, all the best mass shooters were South American, and and actually, like, black people probably kill more people than they're probably more violent than white people if you want to do statistics on it. And this dude got in my face about it. He was like, why would you say that? And I will tell you, man, I was just talking to a guy after my set. They kicked me out of this bar. They kicked me out. They said, you can't come back here. You can't ever say that shit again. Because I was just talking to this black guy, and it was like, we're gonna protect what's happening here. And he was like, listen, man, I can't, he was trying to tell me white people are more violent than black people, and he took a swing at me.
It's the irony.
Yeah, and they kicked me out.
Wow.
They kicked me out, and I'm thinking about going back and shooting the place up, because that's horseshit. That's such horseshit.
Just do some cheek breathing after, make sure.
I gotta do that pranayama.
Kenny G. Wow. All right, so that's a good 86 story. You got a couple other ones?
Oh, well, you know me too well.
Yeah, let's go. What else have we got?
Well, I've been 86 to a bunch of places. And it's always...
You got 86 from my bar, but I just waited till everybody quit or got fired, and the management shifted over.
That is true. Well, that was...
And I got you right back in.
Because that was during lockdown times. I didn't want to wear a mask, and that was... revolutionary if you said I don't want to cover my mouth.
Yep.
And so I got kicked out for that nonsense. But then it's interesting. I will tell you, I went to, there's a great open mic that was part of my foundation as a comedian at Lions Lair on Colfax.
On Mondays.
Yes. And it's still there, and it was part of my history as a comedian. I went back there not long ago, and I was hanging out. I was talking to the bartender. I was talking to the owner and whatever, and I go, this is interesting now because it's getting soft. Like, we're talking about masculinity and whatever. It was getting soft. Like, the whole thing's changing now. Like, it's not the same dynamic that it used to be where everybody roasted each other. Everybody's mean to try to enhance each other.
Right.
It's not that way anymore. And I was telling that I was telling that to that dude, and I said, it's interesting how it is now, because I remember coming here and y'all, like, the host would just go in the back and fucking snort cocaine and come back and be real mean to everybody. And, like, that was my foundation. He goes, no, nobody ever did that. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I don't, I don't know. But it was just they were mean. They were mean. He was like, okay. And then 3 or 4 minutes later, he walks up to me at the bar. He goes, why would you say that shit? Why the fuck would you say that shit? I go, no, listen, man, I love this place. I love doing comedy here. He goes, I can't believe you would ever say that shit to me. You were 86. You can't come back here ever again. And they were literally bouncers.
Wow.
Pulling my arms back. And
that seems crazy.
You're trying to rewrite the fucking history of this place, man?
Yeah.
This is what made us strong.
Yeah.
But, if you own a bar and you
can't
talk about those things.
No, that can't be known.
You can't talk about those things, so
wow.
I can't go back there anymore.
That's a weird 86.
That was the weirdest one I've ever encountered.
Wow. Like, he went and thought about it. He stewed over it, and then he came back.
He went back, did a line in the back with his fucking witch fucking bartender who, tried to jerk me off 3 hours later. And it was these fucking losers. And then he comes back and tells me, you can't say that in my bar. And I was like, all right, I won't. And he goes, still, you can't ever come back. It's the ego. Like, I would say, when you do this, when you own a place of levity, but you have this feeling of insecurity about, we're not allowed to do certain things here, that's what's fucked up. That's what's fucked up, because I would say to this guy who I know that he's actually a champion of comedy and he's helped a lot of comedy in his life, but he's just afraid of the law.
Yeah, and then he pulled that shit.
No, and he did, but you know these dudes at bars who if you bring that shit up, it's don't ever come back.
My favorite story, at the bar where I worked. There's this guy, all he had to do was go home. He was a server. All he had to do was just go home. But he stayed and he had a couple of drinks. Then he started walking around, going up to tables. He told this one table that he was part owner and he could get them cocaine if they wanted. Yeah. Offered that up. Was a server, did not own the bar, also didn't have access to cocaine. He was like about...
Just saying that.
He was like 5'3".
For fun.
He was 5'3", and he would try to drink like he was 6 feet tall. And then, so he was fired. It's like, you got fired in your bar after your shift. You weren't even on the clock.
You can't say those words here.
You can't. It's like it's like Bull Durham, cocksucker. You're ejected. You must have called him a cocksucker. Wow. That's
taboo.
Crazy.
That's the taboo. And I've learned that. I would never do it again. I understand the taboos now. Any
lady action in the bathrooms or backstage or anything like that? Or do you take it off the premises?
I mean, dude, I wish I had fucking... I've met women at shows who sometimes it happens, but...
Chuckle fuckers.
Yeah. But never right on the
premises.
Moment.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
more of a
exciting.
bar staff thing.
Well, I envy you.
Don't. It's really stupid.
Yeah.
When you bring a chicken in a liquor cage.
Probably fucking the tongue feels like sandpaper and she's fucking just waiting for that next line.
Oh, you're not even, there's no kissing involved. It's just.
Yeah, no kissing.
It's all below deck. Everything's. It's just like flies are undone, and then pumping begins.
Well, that's fun too.
It's like a nature film, except in the wild. It's a liquor cage.
Morgan Freeman. And now the cokehead follows the fiend into the bathroom.
Oh, it's a hell of a drug. Well, folks, that's comedian Alan Bromwell, based out of Denver. Catch him on tour. Look out for him. He's hilarious, as you just heard. Thanks so much for coming in, Alan. This was a blast, man. I'm so glad we finally got to do it.
I love you.
Love you too, buddy. All right, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Well, it's last call, so let me give you a tip. If you order 8 lemon drops and forgot the 9th one, it's already too late. Any additional shot needed after chilled and dressed shots have been served will be of the tequila or whiskey nature only, as is, room temperature. It's your fault, and I'm only enabling you to piss off the next bartender if I don't teach you the lesson. What? I'm on a mission here. Folks, it's been a blast. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And a call to my fellow booze slingers. Send in your stories to cocktailsandwastednights@gmail.com. You can remain anonymous if you'd like. Thanks for listening, subscribing, downloading, and spreading the word. Don't be afraid to give me a good review, even if you're lying. It really does help build our community of barbarians. And check out my video, Just Close It, on YouTube. You will laugh, damn it. If you want to support the podcast, you can do that on Patreon. Link is in the show notes. We'll see you next time on Behind Bars, Cocktails, and Wasted Nights. Cheers.